Yeah. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Happy Saturday. My goodness. Happy Saturday to you. Oh my gosh. That's not a good, that is not a good thing there. Change that. Yeah. Have to change that. Let's see. Let's do this. What's going on? Let me make a couple of changes here, guys. Happy Saturday to you. I hope that that changes there. Let me do this. So that changed there. All right, let's do this. What's going on? What's going on, fam? Let's do this and to do this. I think we got it just about right. There it is. Danny Law, happy Saturday to everyone. Time for some wisdom from Crypto Siege. What's going on, Danny Law? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you guys. Happy Saturday to you. Let me move this over here so we can get going. We can talk a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about the digital asset space, just a little bit. For sure, we definitely want to talk about what is going on with the central banks and Ripple. Is it a coincidence that this trading is halting right around the same time as Davos is having their thing? Is it really true that we're not supposed to be holding on to this thing? Is that really true? Is it true that some organization could take over the escrow? And if it is true, what organization do you believe it is? Could it be the Department of Treasury? Could it be the BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks? Could it be the IMF? Uh-oh, ice cream. Did you see me eating ice cream, Barbara Taylor? Did you see me eating some ice cream? Is that why you're saying that? Like, what is the deal? Who is it? MK says IMF, baby. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. The interesting thing is, I know as content creators, we have to be so careful and not forget that there are so many new people coming to the channel, coming to the space, especially with the bull run happening, right? I just had a friend reach out to me. We do business together. She was asking more about digital assets, right? So it's so hard to remember that, you know, I do this a lot when I'm training in business. I did it a lot when I was training as in the FAA as air traffic controller. You have to kind of put yourself in the shoes of that new person coming into the space. How many of you remember when Brad Garlinghouse was sitting at a table? I think it might have been 3 or 4 people in the front of the room. Brad Garlinghouse was one of them. And this was a meeting of central bankers in Switzerland. I believe it was Switzerland. And Madame Lagarde was there. The head of the BIS was there. I know that DIY investing. I know that DIY, not DIY investing. DNI, the digital nomad investor, was talking about, you know, what was that whole setup like? Why was Brad Garlinghouse there? And he really thought it was like what did he call it? Did he call it a walking up or walking in type of deal? And Madame Lagarde at the time, who was the head of the IMF, was literally bringing Brad in. And by bringing him in, she was kind of giving him and Ripple, obviously, kind of the blessings, if you will, like, you know, giving them, you know, giving them that type of deal, some kind of anointment, if you will, and introducing him to the other central bankers. That meeting was important, and it's not like that meeting didn't happen, right? That meeting wasn't about explaining the technology that Ripple has, right? I mean, Brad talked for about 2.5 minutes, right? So it wasn't about that. It wasn't about sharing what is X current, X via, and X rapid. Tell me about what the project you got going on. Yeah, we got this thing, ODL. We're about to launch that, right? It wasn't about that. I believe it was a lot like what DNI says, the digital nomad investor says. It was about a kind of a walking in, if you will. Welcome to this exclusive club, if you will. Right? And so I think, when you go through 300 plus days of a bear market, we kind of forget about that meeting, right? We kind of forget about that meeting. You know what else we kind of forget about? That in 2018, Ripple signed, a little partnership, proof of, proof of concept, or what is the word I want? A memorandum of understanding, if you will, with the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia, like a pilot, like a proof of concept, if you will, right? A little pilot program in 2018, right? The Brazil meeting with the Central Bank of Brazil. Remember that meeting not too long ago? And then just a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, Ripple, CEO Brad Garlinghouse is on a podcast with that guy. I forget his name now. Goodness gracious. Chaparro, right? He's on there and he talks about, he knows for a fact that central banks are looking at the XRPL ledger to build out their central banks, digital currencies. And then within 10 days, probably within 7 days, Ripple puts a job hire, right? A job hire position for someone to be working with central banks in implementing their central bank digital currency, right? Remember all of that? Remember all of this stuff? What's going on, Matt LaRose? Good to see you, brother. Central Bank of Russia lady at the Swiss bank meeting with the IMF and BIS as well. Thank you, Matt LaRoche. Right? Think about that. Has this been the plan all along? You remember the interview? It was, reporter talking to Madame Lagarde, and how she talked about the central banks and how the commercial banks were going to have to pivot a little bit. Remember that? You guys remember that? They don't have to change the commercial banks were going to have, not the central banks, but the commercial banks are going to have to change some things in the way they operate. If you listen to Bank to the Future CEO and creator, goodness gracious, what is his name now? Bank to the Future, BNK to the Future. This name slips me right. And if you guys know who he is, let me know. Bank to the Future CEO and founder, Simon Dixon. Here's a guy who was into Bitcoin in the very early days. Very early days. And he kind of called what was happening today in the 2020. He said this is what's going to happen. He talked about, he was a early Bitcoin hurdler. I'm talking about early 2011, early guy on stage talking, right? He has his couple of, things that he's got going on. One of them is very, very highly into crypto. And he talked, he was being interviewed and he was asked if he thought that the central banks, what is the central banks looking to do? And he said that he believed that they were going to be working directly with the people. If I had to call anything, he said, it would be the central banks going around the commercial banks and working directly with the people. I listened to Raoul Paul say the same thing, and how in a lot of ways that made sense, but understand and this is the most important part, in a lot of ways, it does make sense for the central banks to work directly with the people. It gives them a lot of options, but it also can take some options away from the individual in terms of quote unquote privacy, in terms of quote unquote freedoms, right? This type of deal. So Ripple has been working with these central banks from as early as 2016 or 17. Perhaps this has been the plan all along. One of the things Madame Lagarde said on that interview is it has to be safe, right? The platform has to be safe. We can't forget, us OGs in the space, if you will, right? Can't forget that Brad Garlinghouse was literally seen time and time again with Madame Lagarde when she was at the IMF. Again, she showed up at that meeting of the central banks, right? And I believe it was in Switzerland. She showed up there, right? She was there. And so now she's, head of the central bank at the ECB. She's very familiar with what's going on. And in no uncertain terms, I feel as though it's very possible for her to give the blessings to this technology and what it can do. I really, really do. It's really, really interesting. And now let's go to a couple of things that I want to share with you guys that I just think, like, why, we said this on the channel before, why would Brad Garlinghouse, he's just about closing up this interview with Mr. Chaparro. Why would he just say, I know for a fact the central banks are looking at the XRP ledger to build, to do their thing with the central bank. He didn't have to say that with the central bank digital currencies. Why did he just, why did he just put that out there? And it's an amazing thing because it's open source, right? It's open source. Ripple for years has been meeting with the central bankers, explaining and telling them about this technology. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's his escape, but it is open source. So he can't say, no, right? You can't use it. But he didn't also, and the team at Ripple did not also have to be meeting with them and explaining it, right? If it's open source, right? So obviously they want Ripple, the people at Ripple want central banks and right, enterprises to be using this technology. But that little out is, hey, it's open source. They can, they can use it if they want. They can not use it if they want, and of course, they'll give us a call if they want to learn more about it, right? They want to learn more about it. I don't know how much money Ripple was moving when they were doing that treasury thing with MoneyGram. I don't know how much money was moving through that. I don't, but I think what makes sense to me is the technology. I think Ripple keeps making it easier and easier for central banks to get into this game. That's the bottom line. And right, in street talk, Ripple is just making it easier and easier for central banks to get into the game. That's the bottom line. Easier and easier. And once we get this little whatever what's going to happen with the SEC, once that's done, it's done. Right? It's literally game on then. And they know it. Whatever the clarity is, doesn't matter what it is, as long as XRP, you can't stop the ledger from doing what the ledger does. As long as XRP is allowed to continue to operate in the way that it was built, right? They can pay all the fines they want. They can call it a security, a bonarity, or a hilarity. It don't matter what they call it. As long as it's allowed to continue to do what it was designed to do. And ultimately, that's what we want, right? That's right, Danny Loft. Get in on it or it will go around you. Exactly. You know what I mean? So what's going on? Zizi Sishi. Hey, Siege, timing. Absolutely, my friend. Right. So, look, and the things that are really, really important is remember Bob Way. This is the thing. And shout out to BK because he always reminds us of this. Remember Bob Way said, he said, once two central banks start doing it, they all have to start doing it. Once two central banks start doing it, it might be Saudi Arabia Central Bank. It might be another bank in the UAE with another bank in the UAE, central bank in the UAE. Once two start doing it, they all have to start doing it. 416 Crypto, what's good, my brother? Good to see you. And Ripple posts 3 new positions for technical partner managers and for the central banks. Just right? Just think about that. Just think about it. Now I'm still kind of on the tinfoil thing in terms of this halting the trading. Are they gonna? Is that gonna be it? Is the retailer gonna be out? Is the retail person gonna be out after January? I don't know. After January 29th, I don't know. The Davos thing is January 25th to 29th. Davos, 25th to 29th of January. I don't know about that, but let's go over this because I find this to be really, really fascinating. Hopefully I can find this on Twitter for you guys. Let me say hey to everybody before we get on here. Michael Cummings, what's going on, my brother? 120 in the chat, 123 in the chat. Only 40 likes. Hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, C? He's been waiting patiently for you to go live. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. What's good with you, my friend? Crypto Red Eye is here. GDLT is in the building. What's up, brother? Tim Sullivan is here. Matt LaRoche is in the building. Damian Williams, how are you, my friend? Jimmy Douglas, PDE, DPT. How about that? How are you, my friend? Danny Loft, the money-making Danny Loft. That's what I'm gonna start calling him, Danny, man. Goodness gracious. DC is here. What's up, DC? Alex Jeet is in the building. XRP number 1 is here. How are you, my friend? Crypto Siege, did you see the tweet from Stephen the Bull Dia from Brad Garlinghouse saying, I'm not only confident we will resolve the SEC case quickly and favorably, I'm certain. No, I did not see that. XRP number 1. Definitely did not see quickly and favorably. No. Apparently it's from Parler. What's up with Parler? I see a lot of people going over there. Apparently it's a new platform. But I did not see that. Let me say that to you again, guys. XRP number 1. Did you see the tweet from Stephen the Bull Diop from Brad Garlinghouse saying, I'm not only confident we will resolve the SEC case quickly and favorably, I'm certain. Oh, we'll look for that on Twitter. I did not see that, my friend. That's just interesting. Darren Carter's in the building. How are you? United States Marine Corps for Reals is in the building. My man, nice to hear your research and how you help people get through these testing times to shake us. Absolutely, my friend. It's good to see you, bro. Thank you for your service. Christian Fernandez, how is it that there's an alt-season income in exchanges here in the U.S. and halting trading on XRP? Yeah, interesting. I said hey to Darren Carter. Logan Dow is here as well. Bobby XRP Axelride. I love that name. How are you, bro? Good to see you. All right, guys. Barbara Taylor, it's good to see you, miss. Oh, first I want to make sure I give a shout out to another lady of crypto, guys. You guys, make sure you go follow her on crypto. Follow her on YouTube. Stephanie Starr, I believe, she has a YouTube channel. Okay, where is that? Yep, Stephanie Starr. Stephanie Starr, S-T-A-R-R. Stephanie ends in I-E. Go give her a subscribe. She did a really good job. on today and on her video. Stephanie Starr, guys, do me a favor, give her a subscribe on YouTube. She did a really, really, really good job today. All right, let me get back. Well, I'll do that later. All right, let's see what I got here from, I believe it was the Cryptic Poet that shared this. Or let me share the one right here. This is easy enough to share. Cryptic Poet showed this as well. This is Brothers XOS, at Brothers XOS on Twitter. Let me make sure that shows up first before I start reading that. Good to see you guys today. Over 150 people in the stream. Even with NFL football going on, you guys are tuning in. I appreciate that big time. Sean Greenbay, like for the big homie C, show love. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, do me a favor and hit that like. YouTube says when you hit that like button, obviously people like it. We're going to get it out to more people because the goal is definitely to get more of us in the digital asset space, because this is our chance to win. Our chance to win. All right, guys. So listen to this. Get plug and play stablecoins interoperable via the XRP. All right. So let me go over this real quick for you guys. I got the Ripple Insights thing up as well. But listen, by taking the following steps, banks can issue stablecoins via issued currencies. Connect the issuing bank to the XRP ledger. This involves establishing, I don't know why I'm having it hard. Establishing and connecting to an XRPL node, which can easily be done either on the premises or in the bank's cloud infrastructure. Create a wallet and submit the resulting creation transaction on the XRPL to enable stablecoin issuing and account management. Account credentials can be securely stored by either the issuing bank or a custodial partner. Configure the stablecoin settings according to the bank's requirements. This is accomplished by simply selecting the desired settings and submitting a configuration transaction to the XRPL from the managing account. Like the previous step, issuing a stablecoin is done through a simple on-ledger transaction that creates stablecoins as the issuing bank receives deposits to back them. You got to think about that. That Ripple has come together and put something in place for these central banks to create these central bank digital currencies. A plug and play system. A plug and play system. Now let's go over to something from Bitcoinist I think is important to understand. All right, there it is there. So no, I don't think I have to change it. I think I can just do that. This is from a ways back. Again, I think it's important to understand. We say this on the channel all the time. What do we say on the channel? When it comes to the digital asset space, PED XRPC, thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. Welcome to the family, my friend. I appreciate you, bro. We say this on the channel all the time, right? All the time we say this. When it comes to digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Cardano, doesn't matter. When you're talking to the BIS, the IMF, the WF, the UN, I don't know, central banks, I don't know. You just pick one. When you start talking crypto, this is what they hear. Right? They are not trying to hear it. But when you say cross-border payments, when you say cross-border payments, eyes start bulging out, ears perk up, right? They all are listening then. Ryan James says the World Economic Forum has it listed as one of its main cryptos. Recent December 2020 PDF. You're talking about XRP, my friend? All right, so think about that, right? But when it comes to cross-border payments, they start listening. Showtime here for XRP. BIS exec calls cross-border payments a top priority. Now, this can't be January 23rd of 2020. Oh, okay, of 2020, right? Showtime for XRP. BIS execs call cross-border payments a top priority. Now, this, I cannot pronounce his last name, Couer, right? Benoit. He is the head of the BIS, right? Or an executive at the BIS. I think Augustine is still ahead. But the BIS is the central bank of central banks. And they're calling cross-border payments a top priority. XRP could be on the brink of mainstream adoption as Benoit, I cannot pronounce his last name, appointed chief of the Bank of International Settlements. Is he the new guy? Okay. Lists cross-border payment solutions as a top urgent priority in the current financial markets. And I just think if there's like Margine Delatine said at Ripple, I think maybe even now formally at Ripple, said Ripple is clearly the front runner in cross-border payments. Clearly. It's about having a technology that cuts across borders. Well, look at this. Everyone agrees. Well, how about that? This is Benoit himself saying this. Everyone agrees. Cross-border payments now are too slow and too costly. Everyone. So we're talking the G7s of the world, the G20 nations of the world. Everyone agrees cross-border payments are too slow and too costly. Because it doesn't just involve you and I, it involves these major banks as well, major nations as well. The top priority for the community is not, it says it's not CBDCs. The top urgent priority is to improve cross-border payments. Right? So you throw that in with what they're going to be doing with their CBDCs. You understand that? Now, he says in particular for low income and developing economies. Cool. Again, this is the guy at the BIS, the central bank of central banks. The central bank of central banks. Here it is, January 8th of 2021. You ever think about the timing, the timing of these Ripple insights? Issuing stablecoins on the XRP ledger by David Schwartz. I'm going to go over that as well. I just want you to think about the timing of these Ripple insights and when they put them out, when they decide to put them out. Right? And you got to think kind of from a perspective of a head of a central bank or a head of the central bank of central banks, right? They can't get on the phone with someone at Bitcoin. Like they can't get on the phone and with someone from Bitcoin and have them come in and look at what's going on and see if they can help fix it. How can we improve upon it? They just can't do it. You got to think of what, kind of what, from their perspective and what it is that they're wanting. Right? Everything about Ripple and this technology and this company makes sense to the powers that be. When I say that, the G20, let me change that. Makes sense to the G20 nations of the world. It makes sense to them. The business model, the fact that there's this chairman and there's a CEO and there's a marketing department and there's developers and right, you can get on, there's an office to visit, right? right? You could take a trip and go and meet with someone in an office, right? All of that stuff makes sense to them, right? Let's see what David Schwartz has to say here. I think this is very, very, very interesting. Issuing stable coins on the XRP ledger. Last July, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency made a landmark decision allowing financial institutions to custody digital assets for customers and provide banking services for digital asset-oriented businesses. In the months following, the OCC has continued its progressive embrace of the crypto industry. Just this week, granting banks permission to contribute to public blockchains supporting stablecoins. Just this week, granting banks permission to contribute to public blockchains supporting stablecoins. While the guidance formally brings blockchain into the US financial system, it's important that banks understand how to build on the benefits of public blockchain networks to issue stable coins, right? Because they don't know how. They don't know how. The case for the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger is an open source, decentralized blockchain technology that provides significant benefits for banks, such as scalability, speed, and cost. Financial institutions using it today leverage the ledger for its ability to fully settle transactions for fractions of a penny and in just 3 to 5 seconds, faster than any other major blockchain. Built for payments, the XRP ledger can also be used to support the issuance of stable coins with a unique fungible token functionality called issued currencies. Issued currencies is designed to be the ideal stable coin platform, providing simple but rich management functionality for the issuer that makes it easy to create, issue, and manage any asset, including stablecoins. I'm going to stop here for a second. And ask you, how do you think that looks to a central bank when they're reading over that and they're being told that? How do you think that makes them feel? Do you think that they get anxious about technology when speaking with Ripple? Or do you think that they are relaxed and they feel comfortable? And they feel like, oh, okay, wait a minute. We just got to click a button here and click a button there and click a button there, and you got it all laid out. Here's your monetary policy. Here's 1 through 10 on monetary policies. You check the box, check the box, and hit submit. Let me say that again. Here's the 10 things. Here's the 20 things for monetary policy. You just check the box and check the box and check the box and hit submit. You think that puts the central bankers at ease? You think that makes them feel comfortable, right? Right. You got the main dude, and he's got his dudes off to the left and the right, and you got the list for monetary policy, and yeah, we like that one, and we like that one. Yep. We can do that. Really? We can do that one? Yep. Check that box there. Do you see that? You see that? That's what they want, man. They just want to adopt this technology, and they want to be able to call someone if it's not going, if it's not working right, or if there's an error, or if they don't understand something. And before they hit submit, they got some questions. They want to be able to reach out to someone, right? They want to be able to reach out to someone. This is Ripple. This is what they've done. 416 Crypto says, I'm fairly certain the BIS and IMF, etc., are all running nodes to see the robustness of the ledger. I would say, why would they not? Why would they not? And this is the thing that I'm saying. I remember when I watched the webinar when Ripple announced that they had this little plug and play thing for central banks to build their central bank digital currencies. And let us not forget that David Schwartz said any assets, any assets, and including stablecoins. I don't know what else the central banks might be looking to do. Maybe something other than the stablecoin. I don't know what else. But whatever they can come up with, they're able to do it on the XRP ledger, and Ripple is there to help them do it. Yeah, it gives them options. Matt LaRoche, this is a great point. And you know, if you ask Jim Rickards, there's a certain measure in other smart people in economics. They all say that major nations want a measure of inflation, that it's healthy. That's what the Fed is trying to do, and they're not coming even close to getting it. Having a CBDC allows for the credits to remain out in the public and business wallets rather than being deposited at a bank and trapped back in Federal Reserve's accounts. They get the inflation that they want. Spot on, Matt LaRoche. Spot on. And when you add to that the monetary, they can create the monetary policy that they want in the central bank digital currency. They can create it. I don't know what the monetary policy is going to look like, but they can create it. And the people in these central banks will have someone sitting on the side of them from Ripple, or be able to be on the phone, on a Zoom call, who knows, and help and walk them through it. That's what they want. They understand how powerful this technology is. They don't want to be trying to create it. They don't want to try to create it, and they don't want to feel like they're made to believe that they're not so smart. They want something simple and easy to implement. They know that this technology is not, this new asset class is here to stay. They know it. They know it. And it's looking more and more like the commercial banks of the world, whatever you want to call a commercial bank, is instead of having 10 things to do to fit into this financial system, it's going to be cut down. 3, 2, maybe just 1. So if the commercial bank currently today had about 10 things that they're doing in this space today, between the fintechs and what the central banks are going to be doing, it's going to be cut down. Your commercial bank, regional bank, neighborhood bank, they're going to have less and less and less to do with the new financial system in this fourth industrial revolution. Matt LaRoche is right. Build in fees. Now banks know how to do that too. That's true, right? So any kind of monetary policy that they want, they're going to be able to do it. They're going to be able to do it. I mean, look, the fourth industrial revolution is here. It cannot be denied. The technology is here. It cannot be denied. And I'm so glad to be reminded of Bob Way saying that, because it's so important. You get two central banks, just two. They're going to leverage the power. I don't know, Saudi Arabia and someone in UAE, I don't know, UAE. Leverage the power of the ledger and how quickly they can move money. They can create a central bank digital currency with their own monetary policy on it and leverage the benefits of it. You think the other G7 countries, G20 nations are going to just say, oh, we're good on this whole thing that takes 3 to 5, 7 business days? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, Matt LaRoche. Matt LaRoche says, definitely feeling that USDC has a massive role to play for the Fed. I do believe that too. I really do. Yeah, I'd like to get my loans. I'm thinking about doing another one on Celsius. I'm just trying to figure out, pick a price for XRP before I do it. I really am trying to figure out a price. And then figure out how I can leverage that collateralized loan with Celsius. But you're right? So just think about that. Polysign will not be televised in the background. That is right, my friend, CC. You're right about that. You are absolutely right about that. So let me share another thing. 170 people on the stream, guys, do me a favor. If you haven't hit the like button already, do me a favor, just collapse the chat, hit the like and come back and hang out. And if you're enjoying the hangout here, we always try to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. Let me go over more of this. Then I'm going to share something about Accenture, and I'm going to wrap up with something from that dude, Miguel Villas. All right, let's go back over here and do this. I probably should just leave that on share, huh? All right, so inside, I'm going to read this sentence again because I think it's important. I'm going to read this paragraph again. I think it's important. No, this sentence. Here it is. Issued currencies is designed to be the ideal stablecoin platform, providing simple but rich management functionality for the issuer that makes it easy to create, issue, and manage any asset, including stablecoins. Makes it easy to create, issue, and manage any asset. And that includes stablecoins. That includes stablecoins, right? And then here's this 4 steps. And I think this is something, you know, there's a reason why he has this out here. Bridging a multi-asset future. The XRP ledger has an integrated exchange that allows neutral, counterparty-free digital assets like its native XRP to be seamlessly exchanged to and from issued assets, including stablecoins. So they got the issued currencies in that platform. They got the XRPL ledger, and they can trade in between counterparty-free digital assets like XRP to and from other issued assets, including stablecoins. Among its unique features is its payments interoperability, which allows payments among those holding and receiving assets to minimize the cost and work seamlessly when sufficient liquidity is available. While neutral assets and stablecoins alike can be used to settle a payment, neutral assets and stablecoins alike can be used to settle a payment. Stablecoins have an issuer as the counterparty that does not allow them to operate across payment networks. XRP, on the other hand, can be sent directly without needing a central intermediary, making it best suited to bridge 2 different currencies quickly and efficiently. Built for payments, XRP also can be leveraged to conduct complex transactions like foreign exchange or cross-border money transfers. It's powerful stuff right here, guys. It truly is powerful, powerful stuff. Accenture and Ripple, the journey to real-time cross-border payments, commercial payments using DLT. Accenture early on, investor in Ripple and a Ripple partner, right? Where am I at here? I think this is so unbelievably powerful. I'm gonna read something here. Correspondent banking is entrenched in global banking. It is proven, it works, and banks and corporates are familiar with it. It has shortcomings, as highlighted earlier, but banks are conservative and they have no desire to introduce risk into cross-border payments. A start small scale scalability approach allows the banks to prepare properly internally and avoiding unnecessary risks, disruptions to their existing cross-border payment business. Ripple has been I think this is from 2016, if I'm not mistaken. 2016. Setting up a DLT network for cross-border payments. Accenture. So everybody is involved. Accenture, we all know, is a major player, but everyone is involved. Develop agile network strategy, corresponding banking, network adoption, new products, right? Where's the thing that I wanted to share with you? A prerequisite is that a small number of banks need to get together, say 5 to 10, and agree to form a network like the RippleNet, and agree the DLT technology or infrastructure to use. Each bank can then make internal preparations. They know their IT systems, businesses, and processes. That's what the RippleNet feels like. That's what it's all about, guys. That is what it is all about. All of this time, this is what it's been ultimately about. I'm going to just go over this right here from Hester Peirce, because this is someone still at the SEC, right? She's still at the SEC. Well, let me see. Stephen from the Bold DL. Let me try to find that first, guys. Let me see if I can find that. Matt LaRose, I think that might be more important. Stephen, there he is. Let's see here. Okay. Can anyone validate if this is real Brad on Parler? Okay. Okay. I didn't know he was on that. Me. XRP Darren said 99% sure it's fake. Oh, there it is right there. Brad said that's not me. Nope, that's not me. I don't have an account on Parler. So there it is. Thank you for confirming. All right, so there's the end of that. Let's go over this here thing from Hester Peirce. Let's take a listen to this. Like, why would someone take the time to do something like that? It's unbelievable. All right, let's play this.
There's certainly a chill right now. Are other cryptocurrencies that raised and are active over the past couple of years, should they be worried?
Well, again, I think that in each instance, we're looking at it on a facts and circumstances basis, and I don't want to speak to any particular cryptocurrency, whether it's in litigation with us or not in litigation with us. But I think everyone has to look at the facts and circumstances, and that's why I have called for more clarity, because I actually think it can be difficult to determine whether something fits within the security bucket or not. And I think we could do more to provide some guideposts for what that would be, or as I've called for, a safe harbor, which recognizes, yes, there is a little bit of uncertainty, but if we can get these digital assets to a point in their life where it becomes much clearer which side of the line they sit on, I think everyone would be better off. So I'm hopeful that maybe that's something that we could actually get done in 2021.
And I think that's important, because she is still there, right? And so when you get 5 or 6 people leaving, you get Clayton gone, Hester Peirce is still there, and that's some of the things that she says. Enforcement is never a good way to provide clarity. And she is, again, she's still there. So it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say how they're going to move forward. But I think, she's been there for a while. The new guy is crypto friendly. I think those are important things to pay attention to. Really, I really, really do, to kind of look forward to. Right? I think it's important to kind of understand that in terms of where we are with this lawsuit and what it's going to look like going forward. Clarity is definitely going to be the issue for sure. Who knows what options the new SEC chair has in terms of this lawsuit? Who knows, right? Is it pulled back? Is it, I don't, who knows what it's going to look like? We shall soon see, right? We shall soon see what that's going to look like. But I feel very, very good about where we are. I really, really do. I feel really, really good about where we are with the new administration. I think there's a reason why Brad keeps bringing that up. I also think there's a reason why he keeps pointing to the Digital Commodities Exchange Act, the DCEA, as well, like I covered in the last video. If you didn't see the last live stream I did, you guys definitely want to check that out. I think there's a reason why Brad keeps pointing to that. It feels very, very obvious that there's turf wars going on between the CFTC and the SEC and maybe some other ones, right? I'm encouraged by Mr. Tarbert wanting to work together to bring clarity to this space and to provide for innovation. I think that's hugely important, and I think that they will. I have always believed that there was a measure of nepotism with Clayton and the quote unquote good old boy network that kind of stifled this innovation. And when you think about Ripple, the company, I just firmly believe, look, if there was a disruptor to the old guard, the incumbent banks, the JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs of the world, cities of the world, it was Ripple and its technology, because Ripple and its technology frees up the friction, right? Frees up the friction. And these banks, the top banks, they thrived on the friction. They thrived literally on that friction. So let me see. Let me share one more time and share that dude, Miguel VS, with you guys. Just listen to what he says here. I mean, powerful, powerful stuff.
So, being part of a team that's focused on doing that and, literally doing something that's never been done before, it's pretty cool. My wife thinks I'm nuts because every other word out of my mouth these days is XRP, and I seem to be working, 27 hours a day, and I'm having dreams about payment rails. But I firmly believe that's how you get to do something really special. And the company is, it's amazing what it's been able to achieve, incredibly solid. Our leadership is amazing. And I think we're on a path that hopefully we'll all look back someday and be like, wow, I can't believe I was a part of that. So yeah, I'm obviously pretty stoked.
Like, how do you intend to distribute the rest of the XRP then?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Mahir. And I don't necessarily know that we'll ever distribute all of it. In my mind's eye, there's a possibility where, we end up more of a lending kind of, more of a lender of last resort capacity, maybe. I think that would be a little strange for a software company, and maybe some things would have to change structurally. Maybe we have to have a different organization or something.
Lending of last resort. It would be a little strange for a fintech company to be doing that type of thing. Maybe some other organization. I don't know, the foundation maybe. I don't know, the IMF maybe, the BIS maybe. But Ripple is now lending, right? They're lending to SMEs, right? Lender of last resort. That's a very, 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 very powerful thing. How does the BIS and central banks play into that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I do know that it is on the table. It's options. It's available. And I do know this is in 2017. So this is something that Ripple has been thinking about for a while, right?
Who knows, right? But as these capital markets develop, as liquidity develops, there are going to be folks who, if they want to provide liquidity in the asset, don't want to necessarily own the asset because that puts them in harm's way for price movements. So if you can borrow the asset and create liquidity that way, it's actually a much more efficient way to be part of the liquidity mechanism. It's how traditional capital markets work. I mean, my first job on a trading desk was managing the repo book, the overnight Tom Next kind of liquidity provision that every day we had to roll. There's nothing like that in digital assets. So partly because the transfers happen instantaneously, but also partly because it just hasn't developed. And one of my longer term goals, after I get the ecosystem built out, after I get payments running through there, as I start to merge or try to merge the two worlds, the digital asset markets and the traditional capital markets, as I try to do that, I think one of the levers that we'll be able to pull will be lending. And as a result, I don't necessarily know that we'll need some XRP, right, in order to do that. So I guess a long-winded way of saying, I'm not sure we'll ever get rid of all of it and sort of let it all out into the wild, partly because there is some utility for us or maybe some other, organization having it to make sure that the markets are always liquid.
To make sure that the markets are always liquid. To make sure that the markets are always liquid. That's a pretty powerful thing. To make sure that the liquids are always liquid. Talking markets, talking capital markets. Make sure it's always liquid. Make sure there's always enough. So, I mean, and this is in 2017, right? You just heard me read Brad Garling's house talking about how the ledger and XRP fits well in the FX market as well. So, I mean, it's a home run in a lot of ways. Here's something interesting and some food for thought. People that want to provide liquidity, this is what he said, in these capital markets might not necessarily want to hold on to it because of the price movement and the volatility. But what if there was no price movement? What if there wasn't that significant volatility? I don't know what they can do about that. I really don't know what they can do about that. I keep hearing this price set and this floor for XRP. We'll have to find out if that's an option. But the only way we lose is when we, for us in the crypto season zone, we've come to the conclusion that the only way we lose is if we sell. Right? Selling XRP eliminates the need, eliminates the chance for us to win with XRP. That's what I do know. Right? That is it right there, guys. Right? And so I hope that was some good food for thought. This has been talked about and talked about and talked about for years. And I don't know how long Ripple has been working with central banks, probably since 2016, but they announced in 2020 in the latter part that they got something together They put it together, and it's a plug and play for central banks to build their CBDCs. It's done. It's a product. It's available. And he's calling it, David Schwartz is calling it issued currencies platform. Think about that, guys. Issued currencies platform. It's some powerful stuff. It really is. It's powerful stuff. And that's the key. And again, it's hard to, we got to keep the new people in mind every time we make these videos and turn the microphone on, because they don't, they don't know about the BIS. They don't know about the meeting with all these central bankers in Switzerland, the BIS being there, Madame Lagarde being there, and Brad Garlinghouse being front and center as part of the three people presenting. They don't know about all the many times that Brad met with the IMF, right? They don't know about those things, right? And Madame Lagarde now at the ECB, and we all know she's a fan. We all know. They might not be able to say what it is, but again, remember Bob Way's words: when two central banks start using this technology, they all have to jump in. And it feels like Saudi Arabia in that area there in the UAE, it seems like that they're more willing and open to start, begin, and try, test, right? And God knows what's going to happen with the Bank of Japan. God knows what's going to happen with SBI and what's going to happen there. We shall soon see. We shall soon see. I don't know what moment we're going to have. I don't know if we're going to have a flip of the switch moment. It's so very, very hard to say. The timing of the SEC lawsuit is just odd. It's odd. I don't know if there's a bigger plan. I really can't speculate. I really can't speculate. But we're going to see, what's going to happen in February, early February. We're going to see if there's a difference between what Coinbase is doing now versus what Coinbase is going to be doing on the 19th and 20th. We're going to see if that's going to mean anything. We're going to see if that is going to mean anything. I don't know. I really don't know if that's going to mean anything. Let's see what's going on in the market. XRP is at 33.5 cents. Bitcoin's at $40,745. Ethereum's at $1,245. Interesting stuff, all things considered. Polkadot's $9.78. Stellar Lumen's at 32 cents. Link is at $17.30. Guys, so, right, for me in the crypto siege home, we're like, we only way we lose with XRP is if we sell it, right? Sell it at a loss. So we'll see. Jay Clayton is in the building. What is going on, guy? So we'll see how it's going to all plan out, but I'm encouraged that in the middle of the lawsuit, we still have movement on the price of XRP. I'm encouraged by that. We shall soon see how this is going to play out in the coming weeks. So guys, remember Davos is, I think, January 25th to the 29th. We'll see what's going to happen on the 19th. I don't think it's going to make a big of a difference. If only 5% of the trading of XRP is in the United States, I don't think it's going to make a difference what crypto.com does or what Coinbase does. It may be some little kind of price thing kind of going on right up to that day, right? People trying to get as much of it as they can. But I'm encouraged and I'm excited. The central bank thing looks like it's a for real thing. And when you think about all these job hires that they're doing, we shall soon see. We shall soon see. right? What's going to go on with that? It's going to be interesting to see, guys. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this stream. Thank you so much for hanging out today on a football Sunday. I definitely appreciate you guys being here. Over 170 people on the stream. Thank you so much. Over 117 likes, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to smash the like button. We want to get this channel out to more of us as we possibly can, the average Joe and the average Jane, to bring them into this space, because this is our chance to win. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for hanging out. Nicholas M., appreciate you being here. Jay Clayton is here. CC, appreciate you, brother. Nicholas M. is in the building. Rafi Bogashan, thanks for hanging out. Devon Steve. Jamal Lewis, X-Rabbit, the creator. How are you, my friend? Mark 958, as always, appreciate you being here. 416 Crypto, thanks for all that you do. Devon Steve, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Bat Roy is here without question. Michael Cummins, thanks for hanging out. Big face cap, big face no cap. How about that? How about you being? Appreciate you being here, brother. Rasheen B. Wealthy checked in. I missed you checking in, brother. Appreciate you being here. Big John, as always, appreciate you being here, guy. And all the ladies in crypto, thank you so much for hanging out and all that you do, guy. All right, guys, listen. Never ever forget, old money doesn't want you to win. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. Just hodl strong. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.